During menopause, the body experiences a cascade of biological chaos, erratic cortisol spikes, severe hot flashes, and intense mood swings. For women seeking relief, the supplement aisle often looks like an overwhelming, disorganized landscape of raw herbs spilling across the counter, with endless, unverified claims. Relying on traditional folklore or vague feel-better labels is a gamble. Taking random herbal blends without knowing their specific chemical properties rarely results in true physiological relief from severe menopausal symptoms. To actually shift your biology, you need a strict clinical standard. This means relying on double-blind, placebo-controlled trials that isolate specific phytochemicals, the exact active chemical compounds produced by a plant, to prove they actually work. This chart compares vague traditional promises against actual clinical data. On the right, we see the gold standard: measurable quantitative drops in cortisol levels and clinical anxiety scores over an 8-week testing period. The plants that produce these measurable drops contain specific bioactive compounds. These compounds physically interact with and bind to receptors inside your nervous and endocrine systems. Navigating menopausal stress requires identifying your exact biological symptoms and matching them to the specific clinical-grade plant compounds proven to treat them, rather than relying on trial-and-error supplementation. For acute anxiety and hot flashes, the primary tool is ashwagandha. It functions as an adaptogen, which is a specific class of plant compounds that helps the body resist and manage physical and chemical stress. The active drivers inside ashwagandha are called withanolides. These are naturally occurring steroids that act as biological stress regulators. This animation shows the HPA axis, your body's central stress response system. Withanolide molecules physically intercept stress signals along this exact pathway. As receptors saturate, this line chart shows a direct downregulation of cortisol production. When cortisol drops, the physical severity of hot flashes dampens. Rather than simply masking the feeling of anxiety, these compounds actively chemically rebuild the body's baseline resilience to menopausal stress triggers. Stress is only half the equation. The steep, erratic decline in natural estrogen levels is the primary chemical driver behind menopausal mood swings and emotional reactivity. This is where Shatavari comes in. This root contains a uniquely high concentration of phytoestrogens, which are plant-based compounds that mimic the molecular structure of human estrogen. Look at this cellular model. Because dropping estrogen levels leave receptors empty, these plant-based phytoestrogens are capable of docking into those empty receptors, creating a gentle, natural hormonal buffer. Once docked, this process provides a neuroprotective effect, physically calming the nervous system and stabilizing the mood. This is why Shatavari is required alongside ashwagandha. While adaptogens handle the acute stress spikes, phytoestrogens repair the foundational hormonal floor to prevent those spikes from initiating in the first place. Then there is menopausal burnout. This is the complex, often paralyzing combination of deep physical exhaustion layered with high emotional volatility. Treating this requires a concept called botanical synergy. This occurs when pairing specific herbs together yields compounded neurological results that a single ingredient simply cannot achieve on its own. The first half of this pairing is Black Cohosh. Its role is to directly modulate neurotransmitter activity in the brain, which brings down that intense emotional volatility. The activator in this combination is Rhodiola rosea. It functions as a powerful anti-fatigue agent, restoring cellular energy and sharpening mental clarity. These two herbs operate through perfectly complementary pathways. Black Cohosh soothes the mind, while Rhodiola simultaneously energizes the physical body. Effectively treating menopausal burnout requires this dual-action synergy to address both the psychological and physical dimensions of the transition at the exact same time. Achieving complete relief means utilizing a strategic, formulated combination of adaptogens, phytoestrogens, and synergistic activators working together. This chart illustrates the biological timeline required for success. Standard extracts must be taken consistently for 4 to 8 weeks, allowing these bioactive compounds to accumulate and reach their critical therapeutic threshold in the bloodstream. This strict, highly structured approach replaces the chaotic, unverified guesswork of grabbing random traditional remedies. Menopause is a biological transition, and like any biological process, it can be measured, understood, and fully supported by precision, hormone-free botanical science. By utilizing these evidence-backed formulations, women have the exact tools they need to reclaim their baseline balance, their energy, and their confidence.